Hi Scorpio, I have pulled some cards for a love and relationship reading for you. We will clear up these cards by pulling more, but for now, let's see what I have got going on for you. So all in all, in the middle of the reading, the Ace of Wands tells me that you've had a really good idea. You want to take a chance on almost like yourself, or where you can do something more solo in this relationship that you're in at this moment, or this might just sound like you as a single Scorpio looking for love. What I'm having here are two queens coming through, Queen of Coins, Queen of Wands at the bottom of the deck. That may be one extra person too many in this relationship arena at the moment, kind of like a too many cooks in the kitchen energy. And Eight of Swords, it's telling me that you're really overthinking this, or too many opinions, or a physical person that shouldn't be there, or it's just too much, too many people, and it's kind of got you overthinking things. This decision or some sort of a good idea that you've had recently in terms of your relationship, it seems like it requires you to act quickly now, move quickly. The great idea that you had in the Ace of Wands has to really be moved on right away in the Knight of Wands. So you can't really waste any time on this. Time is of the essence. I see a lot of earth energy with my pentacle suits coming through in this reading. You could be dealing with an earth sign, or the person that you're dealing with in love and romantic relationships at this time is sort of significant for you in terms of how you make money and your job and all of these things. You could be working on something together, like a startup or some sort of a business venture. On a bigger level, the major arcana cards we have so far in this reading is the Moon card and Strength card. So this would tell me that on a kind of more soul or evolutionary phase in this time, in this relationship, or at this period of your relationship at this time, Scorpio, it seems like there has been a very much a period of testing where inner strength of one, if not both of you, have needed to have been displayed recently. Deeper than this recent kind of test or tribulation, which has been overcome because it's now in the past, deeper and more buried and subconscious is the very subconscious nature anyway of the Moon card. It talks to me about some fears that you've been having, Scorpio, that are still at play and still seem to seep their way up into every new sort of idea you get, or every like new beginning that's possible. Some sort of a fear of the unknown comes and kind of holds you back from that, holds you back. You still make the move. The Knight of Wands tells me it doesn't hold you back and stop you and like paralyzes you. It just makes you act too impulsively or quickly, or just not in a very well thought out manner, and maybe like in a kind of very tunnel vision sort of a way. What do I have coming up then? So yeah, like it seems like that if you guys are saving for something at the moment, it seems like that's quite important to you. It seems like you could be making risks in terms of finances at the moment. If you look on this Ace of Wands, we do have like playing cards here. It looks like you could be throwing it all away on a gamble. Yeah, the prize may be brilliant, like what do we have, like a beautiful chateau in the background, but when the Two of Pentacles reverses, it's telling me that you are weighing up some sort of a decision in terms of what would be best for you or for us or the relationship, and that the impulsive nature is here. And I still think that you haven't given this an awful lot of thought. Maybe we'll clear up, but maybe the Moon card is saying we need to address some more hidden unknowns, or things that we're not too sure about. Some more has to become clear to us before we can really make a very like well thought out decision or use our discernment in the best way. There might be more to it. Let's clear it up. But it seems like for the moment, money focus is around the relationship, and also Knight of Wands, like that you're not taking your time making quite an important decision. The Two of Pentacles is like Two of Coins. Which will I choose? Maybe it's all of these other people's opinions, or this other person that's involved that doesn't need to be there, or one too many people in the work team putting in their 2 cents, and it's really having you overthink things in a big way now. And it's almost giving you Eight of Swords and Eight of Swords and Seven of Swords. First kind of air sign energies or mental suit coming through in this reading. Actually, it's where then these other people or too many people involved are the people that are triggering you mentally, or that's the situation that's got you kind of in a mental bind, and it's really all it's doing is pushing you further away. The Four of Cups and the Two of Cups. I feel like at this time, Scorpio, you are figuring out if your heart is still in a certain aspect of this relationship or in of the dating scene, or whatever way you're kind of focused at this moment. Where is your heart still in it? Let's clear up a couple of things. So what is this subconscious fear in the moon representing here? So something that you're afraid of, Scorpio, some sort of a not willing to surrender to the unknown, and maybe for some it's like, I don't want to know what it's like to be alone or something like that. Let's see, the moon card coming through. There's like an element of being alone, or that question coming up for some reason in this reading. The King of Cups, fixed water, which is you, Scorpio. So yeah, the moon with your energy here is telling me that you haven't been really fully trusting in your intuition. There are reasons, or there is something happening in your energetic field right now, Scorpio, that's making you kind of be like, oh, do I trust this or not? Like, there are questions there for you, and there are a lot of unknowns there for you, but there is at the same time, like, you know, usually Scorpio, you are very, very well able to get to the bottom of any mystery and you are quite an intuitive sign, but there is a block there for you around this particular relationship for some reason at this time. Okay, so let's see. King of Swords is here too, which could be an Aquarian that you're dealing with, or somebody with heavy Aquarius in their chart. Okay, but with this sort of fear of the unknown, it seems like it's coming from other people's opinions and beliefs too, like the chaos of the too many cooks in the kitchen earlier. These are different people's opinions, but for some reason, a lot of people are linked in this relationship at this time. So let's have a look then. Strength card. You have overcome something now, and you are feeling in a more empowered position in yourself. But yes, you have been tested. What have these tests of strength looked like for Scorpio? Five of Swords. Okay. So, yes, this is not, the test of strength has been like, what can I resist? Like, so it's almost like yourself, like where is kind of my willpower beginning and ending? So you really wanted to resist succumbing to something, doing something, and falling back into a bad habit, something like that. You were really, really trying to avoid it. And the Five of Swords is like, you were basically given like a little, I bet, like this intuitive download, and you got this glimpse into what it would look like if you continue to do this, what it would look like for you to continue to engage in behaviors like self-sabotage of the Five of Swords, or even like bully tactics, you being on the receiving end or the giving end of any kind of those negative behaviors. And you kind of said, like, if I keep doing this, I can see how it's going to play out. And you did summon your strength to kind of walk away from, I believe, like feelings, actions rather, that cause feelings of guilt within you, Scorpio. So that took some strength, but ultimately I think you will feel lighter mentally for that, and maybe physically too. So the Ace of Wands is coming through with some really big, bold idea, gesture, grand plan. Let's see. I feel like somebody was kind of like, or you were like to somebody, let's build a beautiful house together. Like, it was a really grand plan. Risk involved. There would have to be investment of money and effort, mainly money. Ace of Wands and the Nine of Pentacles, or coins they call them in this Dolly deck. So we have the Lovers at the bottom of the deck. So this was some endeavor that you could do together. Queen of Wands and the Six of Cups. For some of you, it was children, matrimony, building something of an emotional investment together too. Like, some of you have been starting to talk about when you're going to start planning for a family. Like, we have this Lovers card at the bottom of the deck, and for some, the Star card underneath that is, you know, really like all of this wishing and hoping for something wonderful like this. There is high hopes for you in this relationship, and it's funny, when you strip it all back, The Seven of Pentacles is here with the Eight of Pentacles, with the Nine of Pentacles, and the Six. So it's like we have this continuation of the journey that it takes for us to become how we consider financially square, financially, well, advanced financially, and advancing in terms of what we have materially. But when we strip all that away, like and this was the Six of Cups rather, not even, I was getting way too ahead of myself. But when we strip all this away, there's actually something like these major arcana cards are coming through now, the Lover's card and the Star card. Like, yes, you think you guys have all these aspirations for material matters, but really when you pare it all away, it just comes down to the wishes you share as a couple for, I think, family, and I think future together, or even if it's not family that you want to have together, it's like aspirations and goals that you really have that really scratch the surface, and they really transcend just these kind of like whatever, the starting of a business and making the money, but there's more to it than that. There's real aspirational goals for you together, and I guess it comes down to like, it'll be just a commitment that you'll make together, then that's why it's so important that you'll see it through and fulfill it with one another. You really feel in alignment with the person you're with on making things happen. Knight of Wands and the Two of Pentacles in reverse. You're really acting quite impulsively in one area of your love life, Scorpio, and it's coming down to making a decision, and you're already, before you've even made the decision, you're already out the door with the plans, and I don't know how that's going to go, but let's have a look at it first of all. Two cards now, Knight of Wands and Two of Pentacles in reverse. It really looks like you have to take your time, but let's see. And I don't even think you want to hear that. Ten of Wands reversed, and the Nine of Wands reversed. Okay, so yeah, you don't even want to hear that, because if you slow down at this point around this, you'll have to pick up a million more things to do. So you're about to get something accomplished in the quickest way possible. It may not serve you the best long term, but you think if you don't do it now, you'll have to add on so many more moving parts to it, and it's going to become more and more complicated, and there goes this electric saw again. But the Two of Pentacles reversed with the Nine of Wands reversed, that's really just telling me that you have a reason to be guarded about this, and you have a reason to kind of watch out for other moving parts, and those parts look like advancing threats or advancing opponents to this idea. Like somebody's going to come up against you, it's going to turn into a lot more work if you don't take your time on this. Okay, especially if it involves some sort of an endeavor or a new business endeavor from working from home, or where long term you were, maybe some of you are trying to be a little scrupulous and cut corners financially on this sort of a thing, and it may not kind of serve you to do that. See where that fits in your relationship. This seems very businessy to me, but let's have a look and move on. Let's have a look at the person that you're dealing with at this time. It looks like they are immersed in work themselves, but also on working on themselves, and basically like getting back in touch with themselves, seeing themselves as like, I'm sensing a work of art. Maybe they're in the arts, but let's see. Six of Wands. They're definitely focused on work, but at the same time they want to restore balance in those mental triggers that have been coming up, Scorpio, in your life. They look like they've been related to the person you're dealing with. This person is very focused on making a betterment, making themselves feel better. You kind of like, they're motivated towards new goals at this time, and one of those goals is temperance, and it's this alleviation and like kind of ascending through all the mental hardship you've been facing at the moment, and bringing back balance and restoring kind of peace in the relationship is their MO. You're worried that their heart's not in it, you're worried that your heart's not in it in some way, but ultimately I see a kind of reconciliation or a coming together again by the end of the reading, despite this. Four of Swords. And your card coming through really strong in this reading, your energy, Death card here. Okay, so you're hoping for a complete transformation with this person after giving some space and some time to think. You don't want it to be an ending. You want this to have provided for of cups, four of swords, like time to get away from each other where the dust can settle and you can sleep on it, and you know, it all looks better that next morning and you see hope again. You really want to take this relationship to another level, but in doing so it really has to be transformed. This can't just be glossed over. You have to get to the root of the matter and really go from there, I think, in this situation, Scorpio.